how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. It is time for my July favorites. These are all of the products that I was loving in the month of July. I love doing these rounded up favorites videos. It's so fun for me to reflect on the things that really stood out to me the most, the things that have become recent favorites and potentially long-term favorites. And I also love hearing what you think about the things that I talk about specifically, and also hearing what you were loving in the month. I have quite a variety. I have like TV, books, makeup, life in general. I have a variety of things that I'm really excited about talking about them with you. Before we get into it, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's from my video with the new Gourmet Girls and Doodles by the Bunny Nightshade palette. And I do want to mention this as kind of an honorable mention. I can't in good conscience mention this as a favorite just because I literally just tried it today. Like, it is the 29th of the month. Like, this isn't a monthly favorite. I just tried it today. But I did want to mention it just because it's so beautiful. I'm loving it so much so far. Like, I have a strong feeling I'll mention this next month. And I wanted to mention it now just in case you're someone who loves like spooky vibes and spooky themed makeup and want to get like a jump start on grabbing some spooky things for the upcoming spooky season. So kind of an honorable mention. I'll make sure this is linked down below, but just bear in mind I have only used it once so far, but I'm already super in love with it. Also, as far as my accessories today go, I believe this necklace is from Shop Sun & Co. These earrings are from Spooky Doodle Club on Etsy, and then these two rings I've just picked up like randomly. They're not from like a specific shop I can recommend. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about my favorites from July. Let's go over makeup first. First things first, I went to the Glossier store when I went to DC for a long weekend over my birthday in early July, and I've been wanting to pick up a couple of these things, so I finally grabbed them since I had them in person. But first is the skin tint. I picked mine up in the shade G12. I'm pretty sure this is the lightest one. I love this. I love a skin tint. I love a sheer to light coverage when it comes to my foundations, and I don't know why I've been procrastinating getting this one. Well, I know why. It's because I really did not need a new foundation. I don't need like 100 foundations. I'm very happy having a small collection, but I don't know. I felt really compelled to finally pick this one up, and I'm so glad I did. I've been wearing it every single day the last month. It is so beautiful. It's very thin and lightweight. This is very like sheer to maybe light if you really built it up, but it's very sheer. If you don't like sheer coverage, you would hate this, but I love it. It's so beautiful on the skin. It just gives you a really nice glow, a little sheer wash. It is absolutely everything that I personally like in a foundation. Very much a like natural satin finish. It's not overly dewy, but it's not matte. It just looks very natural, and I love this. Next, also from the Glossier store, I finally picked up the Wowder, their setting powder. I've really been needing a new all-time favorite setting powder. Ever since the Milk Makeup Blur one got discontinued, I haven't found a tried and true favorite. I've used things like over the last couple of years since I haven't had the Milk one that I've enjoyed and I've liked, but I've been wanting to find my all-time favorite again, and this one might end up being that. I've been using this the last month as well. This is also in the shade G11 to G12, so also the lightest one. It's so lightweight. It is beautiful to work with. It blends so nice under the eyes. It just sets everything down in such a velvety way without me feeling cakey. I feel like I can never see like powder just sitting on my skin, and I just love that. So I can't say that it's like a new like forever favorite, but so far, I think this might be my favorite one I've tried since the Milk one. So I'm gonna continue using it. Obviously over time, if I run out and repurchase it, that will be my answer. But so far, I'm loving this. Moving on though to eyeshadow, that's the only other like makeup category I have to talk about today. I was gone like half of the month of July between my birthday weekend and then going on our cruise the last half of July. I've been gone a lot. So the things that I tried were very much curated things that I genuinely used repeatedly over the month. But a few eyeshadow things to talk about. I have to shout out the new Fantasy Cosmetica palette, the Fighter palette. I do have a video with this on my channel. And it's beautiful, something very different for the brand. They haven't really done a color story quite like this, and I feel like this was a really good addition to their current lineup. Beautiful shimmers, really pretty mattes. I like that you can go kind of a cool toned or warm toned route with this palette. You can kind of mix and match. Overall, I think this is a very fun way to do a neutral palette to make it a little more interesting than just basic neutrals. Next, the one that I kind of gave an honorable mention to last month because I couldn't technically call it a monthly favorite, but I have to now because I'm still obsessed with it. It's the Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge palette. It's gorgeous, it's everything. I am obsessed. It's so pretty. I brought this with me to my long weekend in DC, and it's just so good. I've played with this on my channel. I'm pretty sure I also played with this over on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I just love this combination of colors. We have kind of the sweet candy tones in like a grungified way. Everything's kind of dusty, kind of muted, and it's just so good. I love her typical light, medium, dark gradient. I love the different shimmers in here. Her shimmer formula has gotten stepped up so much. I saw her say in one of her Instagram stories that she might re-release Surge with like better shimmers, because back when she first released that, it was her first go at shimmers. She wasn't really a shimmer person back then. And as much as I love Surge, like it's still my #1 favorite palette in my collection, I would love to see it with like newer shimmers. I think that palette would become unstoppable if that happened. So very exciting. I love this palette. And next, the Cosmic Brushes brand launched their Delicious Delights. And during that launch, I also picked up Serenity. I've played with both of these on my channel already. I've also done Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts videos. And I also brought both of these along with the Muse palette on vacation with me to Alaska. They were the only 3 palettes I brought with me on my cruise, and I can safely say these are favorites. Delicious Delights is just so freaking cute. Just fun, punchy colors, a mixture of just brights and pastels. The shimmers in here are so pretty. I love this multi-chrome sprinkles and sugar plum. They're just mouth-wateringly good. It's just so, so pretty. I love how we have very like weird shades in here as well. Like we have kind of like the weird limey chartreusey color. It's just such a fun palette, and I'm really glad I picked it up. Cosmic Brushes has definitely become like one of my favorite eyeshadow brands, and I'm just so happy I have like the main 3 that people seem to own. I know they have some other palettes as well, but these seem to be like the main 3. So I'm really excited to see what's to come next. But also the Serenity, this one launched last year, and I'm finally on the train to get it. Unfortunately, one of mine exploded. Like it didn't even happen during travel. Like I was literally just doing my makeup and then it just like exploded on me. So hopefully that doesn't totally go away, because I'd be really sad if that whole shadow was gone, but yeah, this is it so far. I probably will just never take this traveling again, but it's beautiful. It's so weird. I am so sad that I haven't had this until this point. Like I definitely should have had this one sooner, but alas, I finally have it, and I'm very excited about it. We have grungy tones, we have brights. It's just such a cool color story, such a fantastic formula. These mattes blend so easy, and the shimmers are just gorgeous. So those are definitely favorites for me. Next up, I wanted to shout out some of the liquid shadows from Menagerie. They sent me a bunch of their liquid shadows, and I am loving these. These are definitely the ones I've reached for the most, so I figured these would be the ones I talk about. This one is the shade Moon Dust. Just look at that. It's so shifty and pretty and amazing. I love, it's so, so good. I want to try this little mirror trick that you guys told me helps to see the shift in things. I don't know how well that's helping, but that's Moon Dust. This one is Sea Dragon. This one might be my #1 favorite just because it's so weird and interesting. It's this one right here in the middle of my hand. That one's Sea Dragon. Oh yeah, you can kind of capture the shift there. Very cool. And last is Tetra, this beautiful bluey, kind of purpley situation. It's so rich and so cool. Here we go. So there's all 3 of those. Hopefully that's a decent way to show those off for you. I just love these. They're sparkly, they're amazing. They last on my eyes really, really well, and I'm just super excited about them. I think they're a really fun liquid eyeshadow formula. Oh my gosh, I thought eyes were the last category. I actually do have some lips. I can't believe I almost forgot. Blend Bunny launched 3 new liquid lipsticks as well with their Sugar and Grunge palette. I almost forgot the whole name. But they launched 3 new lip products. They came a little bit after the palette, but they did send these to me, and I brought 2 of them with me on my trip, but we'll talk about all 3 because they're gorgeous. I did post a lip swatch video of all 3 of these on Instagram and TikTok. Tried to wipe those liquid eyeshadows off, but they're still there. But this one is the shade Moody, kind of like a yummy gragey mauve almost. It's really cool. Runaway, this one might be my favorite of the 3. Just like a really pretty grungy chocolatey brown. Love. This is one of the ones I brought on my trip with me. And I also brought Sweetheart with me because I really like this one paired with the Dollface lip liner, which I know she doesn't have those lip liners available anymore, but they're still some of my favorite lip pencils ever, and I really hope she comes out with them again. But this one's Sweetheart, just a really beautiful pink. So yeah, lip products, they're amazing. I love them. Such a good formula. They're very creamy liquid lipsticks. They do dry down like with a matte look, but they aren't like dry down transfer proof. Like they're still like creamy textured. Like it's still like a creamy lipstick. It's just liquid, if that makes sense. But I love these. I think they're so comfy and they still last a really, really long time for me. If anything, I feel like the creaminess gives them an edge because like when it's like a fully dry down transfer proof matte, when it starts to like get gross and crumble away, there's like no saving it. When it's something that still has the teensiest bit of creaminess to it, you can still kind of like rub it out and like make it look better if it starts to fade throughout the day. But that's just my personal preference. Even with transfer proof like matte liquid lipsticks, I always wear like a lip balm or a lip mask just to give it a little bit of like creaminess, just so it's less Sahara Desert lips. Next up, I have a book. I actually have had a really good reading month. I feel like I've only had amazing reads this month, and I'm really excited to share them with you in the upcoming reading wrap up Get Ready With Me, which I think will be the video after this one, because I don't want to ramble about every book twice, because I could easily call every book I've read the last month a favorite. I'm just going to talk about my number one right now, and it is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I've been dying to read this. I loved her book, The Unhoneymooners, and I really liked the book Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. It was one of my favorite books I've read, and I've heard that if I liked that one, I would love this one. And this is just a fantastic book. 5 stars, one of my absolute favorite books I have ever read so far. And I've read, I think, 63 books so far this year, if I'm counting correctly. But this is so good. Very much a past and present perspectives, best friends to lovers, second chance romance. The ending had me feeling so emotional, and it was just so good. It's through Macy's perspective. The now perspective is her kind of reconnecting with her childhood best friend, Elliot, who she kind of had a falling out with 10 years prior. And the then portion just goes back over the period of time that they were friends before they had their falling out, and just kind of watching that friendship build and turn into romance, and then what happens, what caused the fallout. It was just such a good read. I gobbled this up. It was so beautiful. Again, I felt so emotional at the end. It was so good. I loved this book. Like, for sure, one of my favorite books I've ever read. I also have some TV shows. The newest season of Queer Eye, I finally got around to watching, and it was so good, so wholesome. I love Queer Eye. It's been a while since a new season has come out, so I was so excited that a new one did. This one took place in New Orleans. If you've never watched Queer Eye on Netflix, please do. It's just like a warm hug. It's so wholesome and happy, and it makes you feel so good, and it's just such a lovely show. We also just recently watched the newest season of Black Mirror. There's only 5 episodes, and I really enjoyed them. I've seen really negative things about this season, which not every episode was outstanding, but like for the most part, I still really enjoyed them. Each episode offered something different. I think the first episode, what was it called? Joan is Awful. That was such a fun episode. Like, it was so weird and twisted, and it's so far-fetched, but also like captivated me. It was so interesting. Lock Henry I thought was really good. That one, I feel like I knew where the twist was going, but I also didn't know exactly what was going to happen, and the way it ended just had you feeling kind of numb, which I really like in a Black Mirror show. Like, I don't want a Black Mirror episode to end with a happy ending, if that makes sense. Beyond the Sea was good. That one also gave me a little bit of stressy vibes. It was a little too long in my opinion. That one I feel like could have been shorter. Maisie Day was my least favorite, which is unfortunate because, like, I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to spoil it, but if you've seen it, then you know. But the main, like, theme of that show is very much up my alley, but it just, I don't know, that one didn't really hit for me. It wasn't my favorite. And Demon 79 was just very campy, weird. I really liked that one. That one was fun. But overall, I just thought it was a really fun season. I'm happy to have another Black Mirror season because it's been literal years, like I think since 2019, since they've come out with a season, so I'm really happy to have more. Also, the final favorite was we got to finally do our Alaskan cruise. I say finally, I mean, we booked it last February, so I mean, it's been a long time coming, but it was very fun. My vlog from the trip is already up by the time this video goes up, and it was just the best time. We started in Seattle, and then we went to Juneau and Skagway, and then we finished in Victoria, British Columbia, and then went back to Seattle to fly home. But it was just so good. It was nice having like crispy weather in the middle of July where it's 5,000 degrees here in Florida. And I love to wear long sleeves. Like, I will sweat to death to wear long sleeves all the time. So it was nice to like wear the stuff I like to wear and be comfortable. It was just, oh, it was so much fun. We've only ever done Caribbean cruises prior to this, and I was just so excited to do something new, and it's definitely like opened my eyes to other faraway cruises, and I just loved it so much. If you're ever considering an Alaskan cruise, absolutely do it. It was the best time. And yeah, I think I've said it all. These were my favorite things from July. It was a really great month, and I'm really excited to move forward. I'm honestly very happy we have like no plans in August because I'm very tired. It's been lots of fun things, but I need time to just like get back into a routine again. I have lots of filming ahead of me. I am decorating for Halloween on August 1st. I think this video is going up on the 2nd, so I'll have already decorated for Halloween. That'll be in an upcoming vlog. And It's just all good things and I'm very excited. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you loving any of the things I mentioned? I would again love to hear what your favorites for the last month were. Please leave them down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave your current favorite emojis. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the BATTYBEAN fam. I'm BATTYBEAN on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'm posting most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. All right, let's get into this favorites video. All right, I feel like I'm on such a filming kick right now after being away for 2 weeks. I feel like I could film for 12 hours straight. I'm not going to, but I feel like I could.